Ayan.
Hi, hello.
Hi guys. Good evening. So, happy Friday and today's
Yes, we are here
today
yet
we're gonna
again
talk
for
about
another after show
yes.
chat. This week we will be talking about the episode 3 of Ride or Dies Stuck on You.
Yes, that's right. Let me
Yes.
change the wallpaper here
Uh-huh.
para mas kita yung sa ayan, sa
Yan.
gilid.
Oh,
Ang
ayan.
galing. He's learning. I love it.
Ah,
Kasi na-anticipate ko na kung tatlo, pwede sila sa side para mas kita rin naman.
Oh,
Ayan.
Mikey is
So,
learning. We're
hi.
learning with Mikey, and the
I
audience is
Yes.
learning
know.
with us.
Correct. Hi guys. So we just want to say good evening to some folks. Medyo nainip kanina si si Allen.
Si Alan.
Oo nga eh. Hi, Allen. Oh yeah, but please do check out Allen's Versa Queer webpage too. He's creating a Pride series of
Yes.
characters. So please do check them
Wow.
out. Nasa green,
Right.
nasa green na siya ngayon. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Hi Pietro. Thank you for being here as usual. Stay
Hi,
strong
B. Hi,
daw.
Mahal.
Yes, of course. Always support. And also, hi Jude. Good
Hey, Jude.
evening. He was in the chat with me kanina when
I
you were
know. Yeah, he was with us kanina.
yes,
Grabe
and
na,
Alan.
Jude. I'd love to hear more about what you have to say, Jude.
Sige. Alan says, kikil ako ng major sa episode. Gusto ko tuloy mag-brown out.
Brown out dito. Huwag naman, gabi, ang init.
Ganda. Ano ba yung DP ni Jude? I'm sorry. Di ko makita eh.
It's yung
Oh,
parang
like
sa
Black
yung,
and white
yung,
photo.
yung black and white na may parang rainbow mask or
my
something.
rainbow.
Nice,
Yes.
nice.
Jude, was this
Marvin,
taken by
hello.
Nicola Cosme? Tama ba? Is this the Nicola Cosme headshot clinic stuff?
Oh, is it ano? Oh.
Yeah, kasi I think I'm not sure if that's the one, but it looks like it's similar, or if that's something else.
Looks good though. I love it.
Me too. Kasi may mga words pa yun sa likod eh. If ever that's the Nicola Cosme one, meron siyang words na nakalagay, nakaparang crown sa'yo around it.
Okay. Cool. I think Pietro's saying Project Headshot. Wow.
Or Project Headshot, basta ganun, oo.
Right.
Okay. All right. So tonight we'll talk about Stuck on You episode 3. So let's go ahead and get started with your general thoughts on the episode. Whoa. Sino
Woke.
gusto mo mag-isa?
Actually, woke. We had
Yeah.
earned
Go.
our... Ang daming turn up. And I think I also resonate what Jude was saying. Na believe ako with how the eye of Direk Pancho and the storytelling, he could create a story out of doing nothing, just sitting around out of a conversation.
Yeah.
And yung batuhan ng conversation nila, sabi nga ni Jude kanina, na the conversations, it's a contrast of the cynicism of JM versus the idealisms of them. And that worked. That really clicked so well. That contrast talaga. And I think that's the heaviest part for me. Bukod kay Kiko the Cactus, and the backstory, ano yung kwento niya.
Yeah.
And also that ending part was like the kilig shot that you needed for that day. Yung kamay nila gaganon na sa likod.
Yeah, and nasagot yung mga tanong natin, no? Kung saan galing yung stuffed toy at kung paano nagkaroon ng damit si Reb. Diba?
Right. So that was a good I thought though na parang it's sort of like the ending was bitten, but it wasn't a cliffhanger for me, I would say. Although I did like yun nga, na medyo kilig siya yung nag-touch na yung hands nila. And then parang when the lights went on, then they sort of like withdrew again, parang their hands. So it's the thing about yung darkness or pag mga brown natin. Usually mas naengganyo yung mga tao mag-have na conversations. At saka I think in terms of yun nga, parang when it's dark, people feel like they can be more themselves. They're more open. Probably because in some way, it provides some form of anonymity eh. Kaya gusto ko yung yung title niya is Lights Off. because that's basically what it was about. It was lights
Yeah.
off, but technically it was sort of like vulnerability on. Ganun. Yung mga
Oo, it's
ganun.
like, tulad nga sabi nga nila, it's like they were in an alter universe then, the lights off, na yung hubad na katotohanan, yung ginawa nilang metaphor doon.
Yes. All right. And Ash is here. Hi, Ash.
Hello.
Yes. Thank you.
And-
And Nate as well is here. Hi, Nate.
Hi, Nate. Nate, see you on Tuesday.
Ayaw nga pala. Yes. We'll
Uh-huh.
talk about that in a little bit. Sabi pala, na-miss ko yung sinabi ni Jude. Sinabi niya na it's a mask from Tickles. Okay,
Yes.
cool. So it's nice to know that
Galing.
they have merch like
Yeah.
that.
It's hard to find now. Parang feeling ko when Pride came out, nagkaubusan
Yes.
na ng ganong mask.
Yeah.
Correct. Ganun talaga, no? So, what can you say? What's their character development for any of the characters? What do you think?
Well, for me, as for episode 3 out of 8, tama di ba? 8 episodes. I think it's about time that in this episode nagkaroon na ng at least konting shift on how the characters will play out and develop throughout the story. Kasi parang medyo pivotal tong episode na to. Aside from them being as vulnerable as they can with each other, no? Doon din na-set, ang dami nangyari sa episode na to actually. Na-set yung, parang na-establish, kasi last episode na-set yung boundaries eh. And the onset of this episode na-establish yung boundaries, and within the same episode, they tore down the boundaries, or at least they, initiated to at least attempt to tear down the boundaries. So yun lang. It's pivotal for me, especially yung conversation. Yung conversation nila is in itself a good conversation piece.
Yeah.
Kasi, na-touch nila yung characters mismo ni Reb and ni JM. Parang mas in-establish nila yung characters, so it would help us or guide us viewers to how we would see each character as the story progresses. Yun. Parang establish nila on why True Love's Kiss and why Out That Media and whatnot. So yun, mas feeling ko lang sobrang pivotal itong episode na to in terms of how the story will progress, especially if parang mas nakilala natin yung characters, so mas nagkaroon ng solid foundation on how we know each character para on the succeeding episodes kapag pinaglaruan tayo ni Derek Pancho on how niya babalik ta rin yung mga conversations and how the scenes will play out. Maganda na yung foundation ng viewers on pagkakakilala nila din sa character. So it's a nice episode.
Right, I agree. And siguro I want to add to what you said about the boundaries, no? Kasi yun nga, parang in the previous episodes, parang it was number one, no personal questions, right? Pero in this episode, parang there was a lot of personal unloading. And not only that, I mean, they revealed their full names to each other. And diba, parang in the theme of the alter universe, parang hindi mo dapat nakikilala ng ganun or ganun ka precise or ka detailed yung isang tao, diba? Kasi that's the very purpose of alter is to be anonymous, to be yourself without fear of rejection or remorse or whatever. Diba? So yun nga eh. Tapos yun nga, yung personal space in Invade. And then also, I guess, in terms of the mask, diba? They took the masks off. And I like na JM opened up about his views and thoughts on love. Diba? Kasi yun nga eh, parang it allowed Reb to be able to see more about his past. And in another way, it allowed us to sort of get a feel for what happened to him eh. And
Right.
I sort of got the idea na, yun nga, like we were thinking all along, parang they were living together. Kasi yung sinabi ni JM noon, parang when you're with someone the entire time and you're thinking about them and you've planned your whole future together, parang, oh my God, so parang ganong level na eh. Kaya, at saka, di ba, parang it just reinforces the ring. Na parang he was ready to get married. But it also gives as an idea na she didn't die. Okay. So, because he said he felt betrayed, angry, and embarrassed. So she must still be alive for him to feel that. Because if she was dead, he would say loss, di ba? Yeah. So, ikaw, Lance, what can you say?
binabasa ko ngayon yung comment ni Ash na sabi niya, I think that on technical aspect, they can improve more on the light direction for this episode since quite unrealistic yung ganong klaseng liwanag in the use of the candle. Ang naisip ko naman, baka naman we might get the same treatment as we got sa isang series. It was too dark for us when it came to YouTube, but when it went to Netflix, it became bright. So baka wala tayong makita. Yun lang naman ang naisip ko. Pero, ikaw muna, go na.
Actually, I thought na the light, kasi when Reb was lying down and there was a light, diba? And there was a window right above him. I was thinking that it was a street light.
Yeah, I think
So,
it's
hindi
a street
nila-
post, I think.
Diba? Yung ganong yellow, hindi nila siguro, parang, siguro they just thought
However,
na,
I kinda
let's make
agree
it a
with,
candle light.
yun lang. I kinda agree din with Ash at some point na yung candle kasi for me personally, it doesn't quite make sense if ganun nga kaliwanag yung parang if you have a street lamp across the street, a street light across the street na as you have your windows open na magsha-shine sa loob. Yun lang. Parang pero I think kasi it's an item that they use to signify something. Nung inabot ni JM kay Reb yung candle, it's somehow I think for me it means na slowly nag-open up na siya. I think that's one of the first indications or indicators of this episode na magsa-start mag-open up si JM. Pero ayun lang. On the light direction, it could have been done a little bit better. Also with the sounds, I think medyo mas malakas yung bagsak ng pinto tsaka ng drawer versus sa audio ng actor. Pero very minute details already. Focusing on the conversation, okay naman.
Oo. Yeah, and tulad ng sabi ni Alan dito, sabi rin na Jude. So sabi rin ni Alan, parang I agree with what he's saying that this episode really humanized JM. And because in the last episode, you were questioning bakit si ganun siya kasama in a way. And this time, we're seeing how yung pain na, remember we're theorizing kung gano'ng kabigat yung pinadala niya. So, we're getting a taste of his parachute of love that pain na parang bacterial, na parang virus. Kapag pasok sa sistema mo, sisirain yung buong buhay mo. So, ganun yung concept niya of love now. So, damn, Beverly Kumla or Aliyah, what did you do to this boy?
Yeah.
Actually, naisip ko yun, na full moon na lang eh. Pero yun nga eh, parang super bright sa loob versus just if it's a full moon, parang it should just be from that direction going into the window. Diba? Ayan. Tapos, I also thought na with regard to the love aspect of it, diba? Sinabi ni JM, and actually, sa mga sinabi ni JM, I kind of got the feeling na, hi, Nico! I kind of got the feeling na,
Nung gabo sa mga tao natin
So,
siya.
kaya naka-blue.
Oo.
ay, hindi ako na-inform. Sorry, wait.
Ikaw yung wallpaper.
Hindi, okay na yan. So, ano ba yun? Is yung, I kind of got the idea of what they said na parang ang haba ng mga linya. Because there were lines where parang kilometric siya, di ba? Parang ang haba-haba na sinasabi.
Medyo
And,
mouthful.
Medyo mouthful. And yung mga descriptions na binibigay. And sometimes, yun nga, yung mga words na ginagamit, parang yung mga nonchalantly dropped from the sky with no parachute. Di ba mga ganon? Parang, hello, nonchalant? I've never heard that before. Ganong bagay. So, yung pahingin ng Webster Dictionary. Mga ganong bagay. Yun. Ikaw, Nico, since kakarating mo lang, ano masasabi mo?
Uy, sorry
sa
talaga.
episode?
Nag-fast forward talaga ako ng episode. Char lang.
Let's go.
So, habol ako dito. Anong sasabihin ko? Char. Ano pinag-usapan na? Char.
Just what you thought about it in general.
Okay. Uy, magiging honest ako. Bash niyo ako all you want. Char.
Go lang.
Well, first of all, natuwa naman ako kay Yves kasi napaka-natural na itong arte. I mean, I really felt him as a character. Medyo awkward lang talaga sa, bitaw ng linya. Kasi tama ka, Mikey eh. Medyo ang haba-haba. Diba, ang mouthful na, tapos very ano ba tawag doon? Napaka-eloquently written nung script. Tapos biglang Yves, really? Sure. So, sorry, hindi ako parang na-awkward na ako na very light. But
The delivery.
delivery, yeah.
So, I understand, parang, Ives, pwede mo magtagalog ka na lang kung hindi mo na
Yeah.
po kaya.
Diba?
Kaso yung
Pero
script
yun
yun
It's a script, pero kinaya niya naman, somehow. Kinakaya niya naman. Kasi he's a really good actor. So, it doesn't really show na he's struggling on his face. Parang, you get accustomed na lang na, ganito talaga siya magsalita ng English eh. Edi okay. Ganun na lang.
Pero hindi siya trying hard eh. Hindi siya trying hard na
Yes.
diba?
Oo.
That's
Hindi.
true, that's true.
So, magaling. Mahusay siyang actor dun. Yun natutuwa ako. Parang it's the 3 episodes have given me the feels of Quarantines and a mix of kilig ng Ben X Gym. Baka ako lang to. I don't know. Kasi, I don't know. Parang nalinisan ako and all. Parang natuwa naman ako in a way. Napaka-light lang ng kwento niya. Si Iyo, I like his character and I like how he really conducts himself in the episodes, no? Especially to sa episode na to. Ano lang, I just felt na medyo naging static yung character somehow for the Di ba no? Parang pareho lang. Parang I didn't see so much of Reb just yet. Parang mas nakita ko yung dimension I guess ni JM dun. But
May pattern tayo eh. Pili ko yung patterns to eh. Kasi the first episode, we got Reb. Second episode, we got... may ganun siya eh. So I think next episode, we're gonna see more of Reb again. So let's...
Okay. Pero in fairness to Iyo parang di ba sa cheat the series, parang we want more of him. Ito, parang natuwa ako. Parang we see more of him now. So, celebrate his character.
It's those little gestures. Tapos yung mga pag may sinasabi siya, si JM, tapos medyo kinikilig siya, yung parang, yung mga pag di ba? Kasi parang pangiti na bigla yung mga gano'n. I mean, those are really small things, but you have to act it talaga for people to be able to know what's going on in your head. Kasi a lot of the times, you can actually send a message without really saying anything, but just through your actions. Pero tama, this episode I think was about JM. It was discovering what JM went through, what he thinks. Ang haba ng sinabi niya about love, di ba? Talagang parang, it's radiation, it's cancer, it's like inhaling secondhand smoke. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? Tinatanong ko lang naman ko, have you ever been in love? Ang dami mo sinabi.
It's poetic for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Parang yun nga parang I guess it's because it's not something that we would expect people to say. Kasi parang this is, and maybe that's one of the things that they want to sort of like tell us, right? Now, just because you're an alter or just because you seem like a guy who's just into sex, or pleasures of the flesh with no strings attached. It doesn't mean that you don't have an opinion about things. It doesn't mean that you can't speak eloquently about things. So I guess that's it. Yun nga lang talaga. Yung delivery niya kasi, parang medyo ako sa delivery.
Feeling ko, on the delivery of Yves for JM, feeling ko medyo a tiny bit struggle on how he would capture the subtleness of the first half of the episode.
Yes.
Pero when the mood changed, nung nag-shift yung mood into something more expressive, into something more that you would expect Yves would do. Mas naman siya, bumawi naman. Nag-shine siya towards the last second half or like 1/3 of the final minutes of the episode. Yun lang. Yung medyo yung subtleness on how it would be delivered.
Pero sa
could be
totoo lang,
fine-tuned more.
Sa totoo lang though, nag-shine din siya sa first few minutes of the show. Kasi super pink ng lips niya. Napansin niyo ba, guys?
Yes.
Like,
Kissable.
parang I know! Oh my God. Like,
Is it this kind of pink, the running board?
Almost.
Yun yung reason
Yun talaga yung napansin ko And I guess we found out a little bit about Reb as well. So he said na he was takot sa dilim, di ba? So there must be a reason for that. So I don't know if we're gonna get a backstory there. I don't know if his parents or his family is involved. Pero parang ayun, parang may mga snippets na gano'n na eventually meron palang meaning or it's gonna be expanded into something else pala, di ba? And then the cactus, you mentioned it kanina, but then it's really about him giving love to someone who might not feel that they are lovable or who might, just hurt you. And love is pain, sabi nga, di ba? Parang,
Yes.
So yun, yung mga ganung bagay. Oo, di ba? Ang daming, parang character references na mga sinabi nila about each other. Like when JM said na si Red, yung mga songs are very depressing, di ba? Pero parang now you're presenting me with this persona na parang ang saya-saya mo. So parang na-off rin si JM doon. Di ba? Hi, John! Yes.
Hey, John!
Done.
Ayun, that's another thing, no? We still don't know why. Because he said na he went to altar to gain some confidence. So we still don't know why he would choose to sleep with men rather than maybe men
True.
and women. So I guess that's still a mystery for us.
Or maybe because they would want to portray the fluidity of gender. Na parang there's no
True.
one specific gender that would, fit you for the rest of your life. Parang ganun.
Yeah, and it might not even be like brought up anymore, di ba? They might not even want to explain it. Baka they'll just say na parang, ganun lang siya.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, may request daw si Ash. Off topic. Hope you can make an episode dissecting Love Victor season 1
I
and 2.
like that.
Oh yes, kapag lumabas na yan. And
Yeah.
you might do a comparison din with Love Simon kasi Love Simon versus Love Victor, that's two different realms, two different stories, two different
Yes.
cultures as well.
Yeah.
Right. Yung mga intersection, iba, no?
I'll keep my mouth shut. Might have a different opinion about Love Simon and Love Victor. Pero
Wait,
maybe.
Gusto ko
I'm
ba-
curious. I'm curious.
I'm curious too.
When we get there, we'll know.
Yeah.
Sabi ni JT, how about yung position nila getting closer and closer as they talk?
We have to agree.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah.
Sa akin, it was normal kasi they already had skinship before nung first episode pa lang. So they're comfortable in their own skin and touching, kumbaga. That physical distance is not, right, has been crossed already, kumbaga.
Well, maybe that's kinship kasi walang nangyari sa kanila, no? But I can understand how they would probably... Kasi I'm feeling kasi that these are two lonely guys. And that's partly the reason why they're on altar. Because for one reason or another, parang they need connection eh. And since it's dark and it's just the two of them, and siguro maybe there's that residual na
Urge.
libog or whatever. Correct. Kasi walang nangyari sa kanila, di ba? So, hindi naman pinakita ng balbal sila.
Which part?
So baka, they need that closeness or whatever. But yeah, maybe for some people, maybe mabilis. But
Siguro
at least, parang, di ba, parang may progression din naman. Like they were both one was on the floor, one was on the couch. And then they were both on the couch. And then they were both on the floor, back to back. And then, so may progression pa rin naman. Pero yeah, I can see how it might be fast.
Siguro parang if there are scenes na they would show na lumipat ba, sasabihin ni JM na halika nga dito lipat tayo sa sofa.
Yes.
Parang gano'n, di ba? So somehow it would connect lang the changes of the position.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love the
Subtitles.
cactus explanation.
Yung
my
subtitles
God.
yung talaga Arabic.
Actually, sa akin din. I had to
Lahat
change
tayo
it to
eh.
English. That was strange. Wait. Yeah, it might have been said somewhere else. Diba?
My Cactus Heart, actually, I think that was one reference. Philippine
Talaga ba?
reference din. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yung movie na yun.
I haven't seen that movie. Is it Filipino?
Ay, alam ko, oo.
May cactus
Oo,
heart.
okay.
Tama ba kung nalala ko?
Cock lang yung alam ko eh. Sa cactus.
Yes. We love that.
Oo, it's by ito. Iba kasi
So, tanungin
pinapanood mo eh. Si Sian Lim,
Oo,
Maha
eh.
Salvador,
Art-
and Mateo
art film.
Botticelli.
Oh, my God, no?
Okay.
May ganun.
So tanungin natin sa panel. Have you ever been in love? Wow.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Gusto ko kilometric lang yung mga sagot.
And currently in love. Ay, gusto mo lang ganun? Pwede naman.
Sige, lalaban. Charot.
May panel. May panel. Char.
Ulitin natin yung sa TRS. Have you
Yes.
ever been? Who is most likely to jump off a plane without a parachute because of love? Yun.
Wait lang. I-shout out natin ng TRS
Yes.
na tuwa sa podcast. Promise.
Yes, ako rin.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
TRS.
Thank
Go
you.
listen, guys. Go
Super
listen to
fun.
the random sessions.
The Random Sesh. Bago na po intro nila, if you haven't listened to them recently.
Oo. No?
You know, I actually thought that they would cut out more stuff, pero I think everything was it was essentially all there. Essentially,
Except yung sinabi ko. Di ba?
yung
May
sinabi mo. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Nilimaring raw ka. Pero yeah.
Yeah, correct, di ba? Very interesting. Oh, ayan, sagutin na natin yan. The panel. Sure.
O alphabetical ulit. Tulad dun sa TRS.
Correct. Alphabetical would be Lance. Sure.
Hindi pa natin Lance.
Grabe.
By surname na lang,
No.
mga last ako.
But sorry,
Basta Lance pa rin mauna.
ako ako na magawa natin, LM.
LM. LMP.
How highfalutin ba do you want me to go?
Ano ba last name? Sure.
Medyo lang joke.
Either way, si Lance pa rin mauna.
Regardless, ako pa rin una.
Go na.
Hindi kasi the journey of love for me was a long one. So, di ba, kumbaga, I'm a late bloomer compared to siguro some of you or most of you. Kasi the only time I got to figure out, kasi feeling ko when I was growing up maybe, when I was trying to find out what I love and what I love, looking back, I could have been asexual. I could have been a romantic. Kasi I was not looking for it. It was not my priority. I could survive without it. And I was already happy having books, academics around me. Pero when that disappeared, that's when parang ano na yung gagawin ko sa buhay ko? Or what I fill that void with. And I think sabi ko, I've been noticing around me then during that time. My friends in college were all having boyfriends, girlfriends. Sila yung kahatak nila to watch a movie, to do something else. And I couldn't pull them anymore to do stuff that you used to do before. Because they're all taken. So I think that's when it started na. That idea started to trickle in already. Especially when I started to work. Now, why don't I start searching and looking for love and let's see how it goes. And initially, siguro if love was, it's like, paano ba explain? If love was a parachute for Jerome, mine was like a big eureka when it came in. Kasi I realized in my first love that I only fell in love for the idea of love at the end. It took me 5 years to realize na, wait, I'm just staying because I just love the idea of love and I not love the person anymore. So, ganun kalalim yung hugot nun. And eventually, you grow and grow until nagkaroon ako sariling bubog. I had my own parachute moment, like Jerome, where it felt like love was a bacteria because it was like an oblivion, an apeiron, wherein it would just suck everything out of you. It's like it's worse than a vampire. It's worse than what Trece fights in aswang. It's worse than that kasi it's like a leeching virus or bacteria that would parang not just even suck the love out of you, but suck the energy and drain you out of all of it. And that was the love that I got from my ex before. And buti na lang na parang kaya I salute the people who are strong enough to say na I can be alone and I can survive and stand alone and love and be happy. Kasi I've been there then 20 years ago. I know what it was like. And when I returned to that mindset, sabi ko, I'll not go look for love anymore. Let's just see what fate would bring and just start loving myself. And then he came. And it happened.
Sorry.
Welcome to our show.
Props to you ba? Alexander?
Palagay sa V8 song 1, song 2. Ano ba to? May song. Hindi ko lang na-realize. Sorry na.
Dili.
Kala ko si Mikey naglalaro ulit ng audio. Hindi pala, hindi ko na
Ay, hindi talaga. Wala akong V8. Yes.
Pero yun, I think that it just came naturally. It came at the right time. It came at the right flow. Na
Mm.
when, kumbaga, I think I felt like I was old already when that time came. And when he came into my life na I could stand on my own 2 feet and find love together. But I can find someone I could walk in the journey of love.
Yes.
Aww.
At party pala sabi ni Naomi, oh.
Oo, party.
Party tayo dito.
Yes.
Pero yung nakalagay talaga, love and heartbreak pala. Hi, Al. Just dropped by. I haven't
Hello.
watched episode 3 yet.
Hey!
It's
Hey.
okay.
Yeah, we're just talking about love in general.
Yeah.
Yes. So what's your idea of love? Is it a parachute, a bacteria, a virus, a cactus? Share your thoughts, Al.
Radiation.
Radiation.
Radiation, yeah.
Second-hand smoke talaga.
Kabalo.
Doon ako na-pull sa second-hand
Second-hand
smoke. So, okay.
Ituloy mo na yan since nasabi mo.
Oo, ikaw na sumunod. Go.
Okay. Parang for me kasi, you cannot really define love as if you would preach it to everyone else because everybody loves differently and define love in their own special way.
Yeah.
You cannot really put out there and preach that someone else's form of love is not the kind of love that is ideal because he or she or they gave that definition based on their own experiences, based on their own thoughts, and based on their own hula values, said my
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
It's the hula baloos for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Nawala ako dun.
Related
But yes.
ba yun sa mga hula hoops? Char.
Yes.
Anyways.
Like, kasi parang, and also one's definition of love can change, and it really changes through time.
Yeah.
Especially, at least for my case, I would not drag you into this personal hula ball. Pero personal hole. Pero, being in a relation or started a relationship at a young age, at right now at 25, I'm in an 8-year relationship.
Oy.
The definition of love really changes. I mean, it would not, parang, if you would look back and talk to your, like, at least for my case, 17-year-old self and tell that person what you mean by love right now, that person or like 17-year-old self yourself would not, might not get what you mean. Pero
Yeah.
the definition of your 17-year-old self might not also mean so much to you right now. Kasi it changes, especially brought by our experiences, brought by the secondhand smoke, brought by the radiation of everything.
True.
Ayun, parang ano lang, for me, I kind of agree. Hindi pala kinda. I totally agree with Reb on this episode when he said that love is painful. Pero kasi for me, when love is already painful, you should first and foremost like anchor on how much you love yourself, and hopefully when you are sharing that love with somebody else, you already have an established feeling of how much you love yourself, because first and foremost, that's the foundation of how you can express love towards other people. It's if you have a strong, like, the basis of how on how much you love yourself. Yun. Parang for me, although love can be painful, but it's still looking at share first, at least for my case, sharing it with someone who would be worth the pain, would be worth the struggle, would be worth the heartache. Because at the end of the day, if you believe in the love and respect and mutual intellect and mutual wavelength of conversation, I think to keep a relationship is not based off only or solely from love. You should have mutual respect. You should at least you should understand each other on basic things.
Yeah.
So yun, parang if you have that person, you'd say to yourself that it's worth it to feel and share the pain. Then I think that's what makes love stronger, and that's what makes the foundation of love more, can withstand the storms that eventually will try to trample your love down, especially for our community.
True.
Yeah.
I have two questions, Matt. In short. Yung second question, medyo just Also question lang talaga yun. First question ko, how do you know that someone is worth dying for? Charot. Pinoy, condolences to the family, by the way. Gusto ko lang ipasok.
Yes.
Mr.
Yeah.
President. Yeah. First question ko siguro yun, Maki. Parang, how do you guys know that someone is worth getting hurt for? Diba? Parang, how do you know that, that the person is, I mean, you're okay getting hurt for that person?
I can personally, because I cannot really preach my definition with other people.
Yeah.
Pero personally, I knew that it's worth the pain, or like worth the petty fights, worth the quarrels, worth the misunderstanding. If you don't, at least for me, you don't go to bed without at least trying to resolve things.
Okay.
And you would see this sincerity. I think at least ako, nafe-feel ko yung sincerity when that person apologizes, and when that person tries his or her best to understand you.
Right.
And in turn, you would feel that you also need to understand that person, and coming into that equilibrium, since
Yeah.
we're in the highfalutin words, since you're finding that equilibrium and where you would agree and compromise.
Okay.
So yun.
Yeah.
Biro lang yun. Yeah.
And I get also what he's trying to say kasi parang to add what Maki was saying a while ago na kasi without pain, how would you understand love? It's like
True.
if there's no good, there's no evil. Parang you need both in order to understand it. Kaya nga yung naging journey ko was after I fell in love, ang sabi ko naman, parang while I was being in love, parang God, parang daw mo sa akin yung break ng todo. Ayun, bigyan ako ng ex na pulled me into a dark void. So with those, parang I felt what the idea of love felt like, and I also felt what being shattered to hell felt like. And when I saw the middle ground of it, I think that's when I saw Pete, yung mahal ko ngayon. And parang it's a give and take relationship na when I feel like I'm not just fighting for this love lang. That means he's also worth fighting for. I'm not just alone in this battle, but I'm fighting with him in this battle. And kumbaga, if literally I died for that person, if that would happen,
Oh,
it's hard to save that person.
wow talaga. Yeah. Ganda. I love it. Uy, may second question talaga ako, Maki. Just small talaga.
So,
Binigyan mo talaga, 25 ka na, di ba? So, 8 years na kayo ni Pao, di ba? So, college pa lang, ma?
17
17.
year, second semester.
Oh my God! Sure. Uy, kinilig ako.
College love.
But it's not always kilig.
Oh,
It will
Oh,
not
yeah.
always be,
Yeah.
rainbows and
Yeah.
butterflies. You would sometimes get raindrops and moths.
Roses.
If that makes sense.
Sa Makate minsan. Bots.
I love na
Well,
bots.
it
Yung
started
naisip ko
that
talaga
way.
eh.
De joke. Yeah, yun nga, parang minsan looking back din parang we oh my God, nandito siya. Pero we kind of have
That's
we sometimes had this conversation before na parang he would kind of feel guilty na parang he took the my hindi man childhood, ang okay naman ng childhood, pero the prime years of my teenage, or like my youth, the onset of my youth away from me. Pero kasi for me, no, it's parang I get to experience my youth with you. So, youth with you years. So, yun, parang siguro for me, lucky, I think for me, luck, it's kasama talaga yung luck, feeling ko din, on how you would find that person along the way. Parang ako kasi, as a person na hindi naniniwala sa, sorry, oh my God, di ako naniniwala sa destiny, di ako naniniwala sa soulmate, di ako naniniwala sa Parang everything for me is brought about by circumstances and how you react and act with these circumstances and actions. So, yung mga action-reaction moment, mga ganyan. Doon ako mas naniniwala. Hindi ako naniniwala na may, when you were born, may isang tao, or maybe wala, na nakalaan for you. Yan lang.
Determinist ka pala.
Actually, nakahilera kami dito kasi determinist.
Ay, dito pala
And
yung
then,
boundary.
and then I'm a mix of both. I'm a mix of both naman. Na parang although I believe in destiny, I believe in determinist ideologies then. Na I feel like it's a cobweb. Our destinies are a big cobweb in a way. Na you have to. It's already chosen. You have destined paths already to take, pero it's up to you to choose which cobweb or which line would you go to, and it ends differently depending on which line you go. Ganun ko nakita yung destiny. Na there are fixed outcomes, pero it still changes. Like the multiverse ng Doctor Strange. Yun.
Allen,
Allen.
Allen, kasi single din ako, so wala akong choice. Dito pa rin ako. Okay? So,
Allen,
Uy,
may
balikan.
siniship nga. Allen, may siniship nga ako sa'yo, di ba?
Wait, tuloy nyo na yan. Ha? By the way, was Alan's drawing used by Yves? Or was posted by Yves? I think it was.
Yes, it was. And he was shocked.
Congrats!
Yay!
Congrats!
Allen, kamusta ang kilig mo kung nakita mo yung post na yun?
Kaya ba?
Ay,
Quiet
daw.
ako, sabi.
Congrats ha. Uy,
Magdamay
balikan ko
na.
lang yung sinabi ni Nomeo kanina. Love is like a web page error. So I want to know more because I'm not because a web page
open.
error for me is annoying. Eh. Alam mo yun? It's annoying. So is that what you mean? I need to know more. And Alan says, love is man's greatest weapon. Lover, friend, family, etc. It gives you strength, energy, and the power to go through anything. But it's a double-edged sword. It can also break you.
That's true.
That's true.
Ay, isa pa palang sinabi ni JM, love is a silent killer. Hala!
Polish
Diyos ko.
Diyos
Wait,
ko.
i-refresh niyo ako. Bakit nabot na yung radiation? Hindi ko na pinilisan ko.
Tinanong lang siya kung what is love or parang
What's the
have you
idea of
ever
love?
been in love?
Have you ever been in love? Parang, yun.
Tapos yun na, ang dami niya nang nasabi. Grabe.
Anong point
Nag-earth
of radiation?
arc ko da siya bigla.
Anong point of radiation? Bakit radiation? Hindi ko gets yun, sorry.
Pinapatay ka.
Pinapatay ka kasi. Okay.
Slowly pinapatay ka daw.
Parang nilinya yata yung radiation, yung viral infection, yung parasites, yung gano'n.
Okay.
It slowly deteriorates you.
Right.
Parang at first you feel the warmth, pero yun pala it's slowly killing you. Mga ganun.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, di ba?
It's true.
Siguro, sige.
Mikey.
Ano natin tatanggalin itong comment?
Wala ko yan.
Ayan. Kasi balik na nakalimutan ko yung topic natin. Ayan, love and heartbreak. So, for me naman, parang love was, when I was younger, parang love was a lofty ideal. Parang it was something that you see, that you watch in movies. It was something that you read about. It was something that happened to other people. So for a time, I was sort of like kind of really down because I was thinking, why won't anybody love me? I mean, I have my parents and I have my friends and all that. Pero parang that particular someone that who sees me as special above the rest, diba? So parang someone I can call my partner and my own.
My beau.
My boo. Correct. Yung mga ganun bagay. So, pero what happened was parang nag-turn around yung events, I guess, when I started accepting na parang, no, I'm actually just fine with being alone and, loving myself and more ways than one, char. And also, just being comfortable with loneliness and solitude and parang with myself, just basically that. So yun, parang marami namang dumaan, pero very fleeting, etc. And then siguro, I don't technically believe in soulmates as well, because I believe when you say, oh, there's a soulmate out there for me, like there's my other half waiting out there for me. Parang it's giving up the possibility that this person might actually be the one for you. Diba? So, and parang, well, eventually I found that person. So, 13 years naman kami.
Oh my
and
God.
I think, and I think na parang to answer Nico's question, like, how do you? What was the question earlier? How do you know?
How do you know that the person is
Worth
getting
dying for?
Worth the pain, worth the
worth
heart.
Worth the pain. Worth the
Dying
pain.
for.
Okay.
In what
Ganito.
aspect daw, Nico, yung pain? Charot na.
Does this involve whips and chains and
Take whatever context you want, Char.
siguro parang I guess it's not that you choose to, or it's not that you decide na I will take the pain for you. It's more like you're hurting me, but I forgive you because I love you. Or alam mo yun, it's parang kasi I don't like pain. Like, not at all. Pero even if you hurt me, because I love you, I will forgive you for it. So, siguro yun na lang yung context ko. Pero yun nga parang sabi nga rin ni Mapi, it's not all rainbows and butterflies.
It's not.
Sometimes, parang sometimes there's arguments and there's miscommunication. And even if we've been together for 13 years, there is times where parang, sandali, I thought I knew him. Yung mga parang gano'n. Bakit iba yung reaction niya? Bakit iba yung reaction niya this time? So, alam mo yun, mapapaisip ka pa rin. And I think that's the thing parang people can really change. And that's the whole, I think that's the whole, point of it all. Na parang, just because you're someone doesn't mean that you know them fully. And just because you've been someone for the longest time doesn't mean that you won't change, or that you can change your mind, or that you won't react differently when somebody does something. And I think that's the beauty of the relationship that I have. It's really parang I still get surprised, I still get kilig. Alam mo yun, parang I still crave
For what?
na mahawakan siya. Na mayakap siya. Yung mga gano'n. Alam mo yun? So parang, for me, when I send messages like, I miss you, I love you, I mean it every time. Alam mo yun? It's not just lip service or anything. Yeah. I mean, I might not like what he did some time ago, or I might parang agree with some of the things that he thinks or does. Pero it all boils down to, eto pa rin mahal pa rin. So,
yeah. Mikey, are you the type na are you the type na, sorry, for the lack of term, are you the type na, well, based sa mga kinikwento mo sa akin, well, I'll still ask this question anyway. Are you the type na bibigay lang? Or ikaw yung tipong tumatanggap lang? Or ikaw yung tipong bumubunga nga? Iba ko sa based sa mo sa amin. Yes, go.
Minsan, I guess it depends on the situation. And it also depends on maybe my mood or how I'm feeling. Or maybe even, siguro, the person. Because I know that there are some people na I can palak to. Diba? Like, if I feel comfortable with that person. But there are some times na rin, parang if I don't know the person that well, I might think about telling them, or if I am gonna tell them, how am I gonna tell them? Yung mga ganun bagay. And sometimes, yun, I just take it na rin Parang, pero two ways yun Like, there are times na I take it, pero may numero, or may bilang. Kasi di ba, may threshold ka rin So pag nangyari ulit, like, this is the second time that you've done that. Or this is the third time that you've done that. I will say something. Pero there are often times as well na parang, if it's not something major, if it's something that I can let pass, if it doesn't, let's say, demean or diminish my dignity, or alam mo yun, parang it doesn't affect how people at work perceive me, yung mga ganun bagay. Wala ka dyan. I just let it pass. Yung mga ganun bagay. Yeah.
Alam mo yung kwento mo sa amin, yung sinunog mo yung polo ni Louie, mama, Char.
Wait, what?
Finansya mo, tapos sinunog mo.
Oo. Well, it wasn't intentional. Pinaplansya ko. Tapos, the plancha, it wasn't my plancha, of course. It was their plancha. And it was like the first time that I was using their plancha. Hindi ko natansya kung how fast it would heat up. It's one of those old planchas na may ginaganon ka pa. Instead of yung dial, or yung rotating thing, yung may dial talaga siya na gano'n. So parang, iniwan ko lang konti, tapos nasunog ako. Oh my God. And I didn't know how to tell him because that's the first time I've done that. So I was like, should I tell him? Should I not tell him? Should I just throw it away? Pero syempre, I told him. And he was like, so disappointed. Pero, syempre, forgiven. Yes.
Yes.
Personista ka raw, mama, sabi ni
O hindi naman sa ganun.
Father.
Lakas na maka-turn type 2 daw season 2. Nagka-plansya lang.
Oy, Jude. Jude, vaccinated ka na. Pwede nang umeme ulit. Charot.
True.
Ayun.
Punta na
Nico
sa chirper.
naman.
Charot.
Si Nico naman, parang what's your perspective on love and when do you decide na I still wanna stay single and happy and love myself more? And or para pick someone, parang I would like this as a potential partner.
Ewan ko ba? Alam mo nag-podcast tayo. Tapos I think Maki said that na parang buong buo daw akong tao. Hindi ako pamintang buo, pero buo lang ang tao talaga.
Buong whole spice ka kapag gano'n.
Oo. Actually, it reinforced all the more my belief of myself na ang hirap i-explain kasi romance is a very complicated thing for me. So I think that's love for me. I guess it's complication. It's complex. Not complex because of the relationship, but because complex siya because of my personality going against somebody else's personality. Kasi laging ganun eh. And I think I'm always that person. I always complicate things. I don't know why. Kasi hindi ko mapakali eh. So to me, parang love is complication. To me, love is a mathematical equation. Char. Na hindi ko maintindihan. Na hindi ko talaga siya
X's and Y's. Charot.
Right. As in, super gano'n. Diba pag nakatingin ka sa isang mathematical equation, it's complicated. Parang, paano to? Hindi ko naintindihan. Paano ko kukunin, di ba? Magtatranspose everything ganyan, di ba? Transposition chart. Mga gano'n. So, I think, and actually from that complication, but I don't, like, get away from that complication because to me, I think Mikey said this, from that hurt, from that complication, you learn about not just life, but about yourself more. So, like in a relationship, I like to argue, I'm very argumentative. Pero once you tell me and I realize that I'm wrong, oftentimes, mga nakaka-date before mga past relationships, hindi ako nakikipag-argumento, nasampal na ako and all, pero nangangatwiran talaga ako, natama ako in everything. I'm always that person. But alam nyo, later on, ma-realize mo, mali talaga ako. Diba? So, mas lumalabas yung values ko as this individual. Mas na-realize ko all the more na because of this competition, parang I am actually happier, way happier, alone. And alone doesn't mean lonely. I mean, I'm happy, independent, I stand alone, I can do a lot of things. So, to me, love is complication, but from that complication, you learn it. Parang you get to navigate through it. So, sa mga single out there, Brother Jude, sino pa yung nagsabi? Si Ash ba yun? Sorry, si Allen yata.
Si Allen, si VR.
Diwang tayong mga singlehood traveling pants. Yes. And
traveling lycra pants.
Traveling.
Oo.
Okay, so sige, salamat sa pag-share, guys. Wow. talagang change topic. Yeah, na-mention rin yung toxic positivity, no? Pinag-usapan na natin to, Nico, di ba? Pero
yes.
Kayo naman, guys, anong masasabi niyo? Toxic positivity ba yung ginagawa ni Reb or hindi? Or what do you think?
Mas toxic siya sa akin yung yung second episode. This episode, he was more emphatic. Kasi parang naramdaman niya, kinakapan niya yung yung feelings ni JM, is acknowledging them. So he's more emphatic here than toxic positive nung last time.
I agree. Kasi when you're positive, when you're a toxic positive, when you are someone who has toxic positivity, it's for me the idea is that you sort of like ram it down people's throats, or you basically are not able to empathize with someone. So, for example, okay, kunwari, if we were to say toxic positivity yon, when JM had said na parang, okay, love is radiation, etc., then the toxic positivity response would have been, well, at least now you learn, diba? That's good. That would have been toxic positivity. But what Reb did was like, oh, I'm sorry, hindi ko alam pasensya ha. So for me, maybe he's just positive overall as a person, but then he knows how to, let's say, empathize, sabi nga. He knows how to empathize with people, and he knows how to respond accordingly. Kasi one of the things that toxic positivity is, it's just directly ignoring what other people are saying. Diba? Yung parang lip service na lang na parang, oh, but things will work out, etc. Pero parang, can't you just say na parang, okay, I'm sorry that you feel that way, I don't know what to say. That's a better statement, and that's actually a better response than saying na, oh, everything's gonna be all right, or look at the bright side. Yung mga ganun bagay. But Rep wasn't like that at all. I think, it was just really just being empathic. So maybe JM had a different view of toxic positivity. Kayo guys.
Medyo I agree. Medyo fleeting na, exagerado naman to si Eve Flores talaga, hindi JM.
Hindi
JM pala, sorry. Oo nga, fleeting. Parang hindi ko naman naramdaman na toxic positivity kasi nanggaling din kami ni Mikey dun sa usapang toxic positivity. So parang,
maybe,
yeah. Go, Mikey.
No, I was just gonna say, maybe chronic positivity, but hindi toxic.
Yeah.
Pero exagerado masyado. Toxic positivity, talaga ba?
Baka lang, he just has a positive outlook in life, and pero he knows naman when to acknowledge if other people would feel otherwise.
Right.
Oo. Pero siguro with James' mindset during that time, kasi kahit naman ako, if I was jaded, it's like a bacteria entered my sphere, and it's toxic for me. Kasi I don't need that kind of energy right now. Kaya ganun yung nasasabi niya. Pero I think when he found out, I think turning point niya is episode 3 na nung naging response ng ganun when Reb responded that way, I think JM laid low on him. O parang he's not as toxic pala. You could hear the shift And like from the second episode na parang kung na lang ibato niya na si JM sa labas. I see Reb palabas. Kasi he was that toxic. But this time, you hear a more sympathetic character, a more emphasizing character, wherein JM, like it looked kay JM to introduce his real name. Diba?
Right.
Uy, magandang point to kay Jude, Mikey, no?
Ay, sorry. Let's go.
Yun. Yes.
Right.
Basta Nico.
Basta sabi ni Jude, JM's cynicism is clouding his perspective, kaya tingin niya toxic positivity na yung kay Reb. I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yes, yun pala. Okay.
Yes.
That's so true, diba? Kasi jaded na siya So if anyone is at any point positive, parang talaga ba? Ganun na siya, no?
Pero kayo ba, how do you deal with those kinds of personalities? If you have that toxic positivity around you?
Edi happy join na rin lang. Tahimik na lang. Parang okay, sige, go lang girl. Whatever makes you happy. Sabi ni Nomi, enjoy ng Inside Out. I think,
True.
toxic positivity talaga sa beginning. Pero nag-character development naman.
Totoo.
Diyos ko.
Uy, natawa ako kay Ash.
Gusto ko yung kay Ash.
While listening to you guys, naalala ko lang ang Four Sisters in a Wedding. Mark parang si Bea, Mikey si Shaina, Nico is Tony, and Lance is Ange.
Gusto ko to.
Gusto ko yan. Tapos si Angie, si Angie Rebreb natin if ever.
Pwede. Oo.
Sino yung bunso? Sino si bunso?
Angie nga. Si Angie if ever.
Wait lang. So, sino yung nagka-jowa kay si Angel, si Lance.
Oo, kami dalawa.
Sasabunutan mo si Mocha Uzon, Charla.
Yes. It fits my personality, so go lang.
Yes.
Ako yung
Oh my God.
I don't give comments about your life, so don't comment about mine. Tsaka,
Yeah.
The hula baloo.
Yeah. Hula-balo talaga.
Just go.
Saan nanonood siya, no? Ang Charla.
Sa tingin ko hindi, kasi hindi naman to work of art.
Oh, wow. So, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay lang yun. May sarili-sariling opinion ng mga tao.
Yeah.
That's true. Right? But yeah.
Pero ako,
Leave it at
I have a question though before siguro Lance and Maki shares their parang insight. Parang what makes a person toxic positive? Kasi ako in my head right now, baka kasi there are people na they're so focused on their struggles, personal struggles. They don't want to share these with other people. So ako example lang to. Para sa akin, may mga tao na they just have default statements in their heads na they just pick it up from social media or elsewhere. So parang may taong mag-open up na nahirapan na ako sa buhay ko. Ganyan. So wala na silang masabi kasi parang, oh my gosh, I'm actually struggling
That's
right
great. The joke.
That's great. I'm for you. Diba?
That means you're human.
Yun. Weirdos. So yun lang yan. Parang feeling ko hindi yun kasalanan ng tao kung ba't siya naging toxic positive. I think may reason din yung struggles niya sa buhay. Yeah. I don't know.
And it could be two different things. Like one, they're toxic positive sa nature talaga nila kasi they've gone through so much.
Yeah.
Through so much.
Yeah.
Na yun na yung naging defense nila. Yun yung naging coping mechanism nila. And that's the only way they can survive in their lives.
Oh.
Kasi if they're the type of person originally they want to mellow, parang they would be pulled down by their emotions. They choose to be up na lang instead of being dark in the shadows. And on the other hand, yung other societal na ginagawa, like, di okay lang yan, mabuhay ka naman, hindi masakit, parang ganun. Parang puso lang naman yan, hindi ka naman binarad sa puso mo, di ba? Parang ganun yung mga sagot nila.
Malayo sa bituka.
Malayo sa bituka. And I think
talaga, Mike.
And I think that's societal talaga. Brutal talaga, no?
Mamaya.
Hi, Mamaya. And it has to do with societal biases natin. And as Asians, maybe, we're kind of impersonal. And by doing so na, we're giving positive na ganun. Kasi we are just trying to avoid conflict. Kaya ganun yung bato natin. Kasi if we say something negative, we would be encountering conflict. For sure. And we're trying to avoid that. We're trying to avoid to go deep into our emotions. We're trying to avoid conflict. Kasi if you say na, hindi, sorry ha, ganito nangyayari sa'yo. So, biglang magkakwento ulit si ate. Kasi ganito po nangyayari sa may luha na siya. So, I think we're that kind of people na if you're not ready, you'd say, okay lang yan, bahala ka na dyan, masaya ka naman, di ba? Wala pa sa may duka yan. So, ganun.
True.
For me naman, there are different levels kasi for me, that's how I define it, no, personally, what toxic positivity is. Parang there are some people who would, like, I think toxic positivity, hindi kasi nila alam na toxic sila in terms of how they would, react and how they would give comments, ganyan. Pero at some point, I would kind of understand na baka kasi it's a way of self-preservation, na baka mamaya, yun yes, gaya na sinabi ni Lance, may mga pinagdaanan, so ayaw na niyang at least i-acknowledge yun sa sarili niya kasi he or she doesn't want to relive the same moments kung saan na-feel niya na down and dirty. Iba pala yun. Down and...
Okay. Yeah.
Get down the good Lord.
Ayun. Pero on the other hand, kasi sometimes being toxic positive is also, aside from preserving yourself from your like from external factors or from your inner saboteur or from your inner voices of the inner demons in your head. Ayun, parang on the other side kasi baka mamaya lang siya, kagaya nga ni Joy, sobrang positive ng outlook niya and baka mamaya hindi pa niya kasi nararanasan din kung paano maging down at kung paano masaktan, kung paano malugmok, mga ganyan. Yung baka mamaya masyado siyang sheltered. Siguro, I don't mean it in an economic sense naman, yung mga taong pinalaking sheltered. No? Pero baka hindi pa lang niya masyadong na-fully grasp on how it is to be in so much pain. Kaya, ganun yung positive outlook niya. Kasi feeling ko, the reason why people, or some people, would resort to toxic positivity is because of course, their experiences din. Kaya, ayun. Ayoko mag-comment kasi baka may matamaan. Charot lang.
Maybe,
Pero I have a person in my head. Yun.
Yeah, me
Okay.
too.
Or maybe ano lang talaga, socially awkward, di ba? Parang you don't really know what to say. So parang, and
Wallflower.
you or you want to be encouraging, but you don't know exactly how to be encouraging. So you
True.
say those things because in your head, parang they seem like good things to say. But it might not be that way when it's received by the person that you're talking to.
Yeah. Well, if
Yep.
someone is positive and it works for them, then okay.
Yeah.
If it works for you, then good.
Go, girl.
Pero just be sympathetic and just be empathic and just be responsible and ang tawag dito, sensitive with other people na positivity might not work in every single person because some people like me want to feel my emotions. If I'm down, I want to feel that I'm down
Yeah.
because I want to
Oo,
bounce back from
mag-walling
that
pa tayo,
moment,
diba?
diba?
That's true. Actually, ano eh, 'di ba? Parang the only way through it is through it nga eh. Parang if you set those emotions aside and you put it in a box and don't process it, then that's actually going to be more impactful or
Damaging,
more harmful in the long run. Kasi yun nga eh, parang you're keeping it there. So hindi siya naaalagaan. What?
So,
Ala, wait, sabi ni John, ayan, natusok na ako ni Kiko. Char, okay. Yung progress, so nice when they make handshakes, may ilaw na, ganda lang ng sign. Ayun nga, di ba? Parang darkness can actually make for good, vulnerable. Huh? Ano raw? Basta, maraming nagaganap sa kadiliman, yun na lang yung sasabihin.
Yes.
Kasi yun nga eh, parang pag madilim, parang you feel less exposed or you feel less vulnerable. Or, parang you feel protected somehow. Kasi madilim, hindi ka nakikita. So, yun, may mga bagay ka nasasabi, or maybe it's just the emotion of it. Maybe because yun nga, parang there's moonlight and there's candlelight. Kaya medyo nadala sila doon eh. So that's why, and yun nga, parang they're both just alone together in this pandemic. So, maybe yun yung nag-joke sa kanila.
truly. Uy, pero maganda yung sinabi ni Maki. Ngayon lang nag-resonate bigla. Char. Good na ang utak ni Mama. He said na parang you're the type of person na you want to feel the emotions. Ako ganun din eh. Na parang, I want to be sad. I want to be sad. I want to be
Yeah.
galit ako. Pag nasa-stress ako, let me be. Parang, doon ako
Not to be
natututo.
stressed, yeah.
Yeah, di ba?
Yeah.
Pero, for you to tell me na, oh, just be positive. Ganun din. You have to be
Or
thinking,
worse, don't feel like that.
exactly. So, parang, hindi ka nakakatulong talaga. You're stopping me. Let me be. So, okay lang. Kung ayaw mong makinig sa dalamhati ko or stress ko, malis ka dito. Ganon. In short.
And also, if I don't want help, I don't want help.
You're right. Exactly. Diba?
Yes.
Totally.
Sabi ni Ma'am Yao, I think one can be toxically positive kasi ayaw na nila mag-isip about the shit that happens in their life. It's like relinquishing control and just being happy na lang, no matter how ironic.
Yeah.
And I guess yun nga eh, parang, it's not, I wouldn't call it role-playing, but parang if you try to put yourself in a mindset like that, parang eventually, the hope is eventually your body and your emotions will follow. Alam mo yun?
Yes. Tapos gusto ko rin sinasabi ni Ash dito na toxic positivity can serve as an escape to some people, but once you realize that positivity should accompany the action for change to happen. Amen to that.
True. That is true.
And parang if you're gonna be positive to someone else, I think if this to someone, you should listen to ano ba talaga kailangan nila. Like sabi ni
Yes.
Maki na if they need to be positive right now, kasi ako, if I am in the dark, there are days na I want to be in the dark, pero there are days na, please, I need a positive person to pull me out. If I say, please pull me out, sige, go, be positive. Palabas. And I know what Mikey is thinking right now. Welcome to Chubby
Hindi ko
Bunny.
naisip, pero naisip si Mikey. Alam ko na.
Chubby Bunny lang to. Chorizo lang.
Oh my God.
Chorizo, salami, ano pa ba? Welcome to TRS.
Sorry na lost ako doon.
Chubby Bunny,
Yep.
call it out.
Yep. Yeah, pakinggan yung TRS namin to get the reference. So, there.
Makinig kayo sa TRS. Ayan. Si
Yes.
Alan naman, makipabasa.
So Alan says, the purpose of emotions is to express them. Joy, sadness, anger, they
Yeah.
exist for a reason. Tingin nyo nga, pati si Jesus nagagalit, nalulungkot, nasasaktan. Di
Very
siya
true.
palaging masaya. Very true.
True. Oo, Alan, bakit kalimutan mo si disgust tsaka si fear?
Oo nga eh. Whole cast na to ng
Hi, Sir Will.
Inside out. Hi,
Inside
Sir
Out.
Will.
Hi, Sir Will.
In and out, eto na naman tayo.
Sundara Park lang.
Sabi ba ni in and out, charot.
Very true. Uy, si Jude may entry din.
Naghihila na naman tayo.
For me, positivity only becomes toxic when the person clings to it to the point of inaction. Iba kasi yung optimism on the results of an act. Iba rin yung di nagagalaw at mag-hope na lang na things
Very true.
will be continued.
Mm.
will work out without doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true. Yung parang in a way, you can also call it parang kahibangan. I think that's the right Tagalog term for it. Sir Will, wala raw thoughts. No, Sir Will, toxic positivity. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, di mo pa nakapanood. Okay lang. Kahit yun lang.
Correct.
Right.
Yun. So, tama no? Parang, even though we're just talking about toxic positivity, parang ang daming perspectives na nakikita natin. So, there should be inaction, and we should be feeling our feelings. And I'm also of the same, what do you call it? Thinking. Like, for example, there are days na parang hindi ko feel mag-work. So, hindi ako mag-work.
Kayo.
Nakahiga lang ako. Ganon.
Lounging, yes.
Diba? Lounging, correct. Lounging
I
na
wish I
ngayon
could
yung
say
bago
the
term.
same, Mike.
I wish I could say the same also as in.
Hindi kasi ang ano ko naman output eh. Hindi naman tayo per ora eh.
Oh,
So,
hi,
it's
Sir
true.
Ali. Hello.
wait,
Joke
Sir
lang,
Ali.
joke
Ay,
Ganun na.
ipa-flash ko sana.
Pero
Ipa-flash ko sana.
Girl, bigla ako na doy.
Wait, pero okay lang yun. Kasi sinasabi naman namin dun sa
Yeah, we all have our own times and we all have
Correct.
our productive times.
Yes.
Sabi ni John Rudolph, nowadays tingin ko, hindi na uso yung pagsabi ng positive words sa taong may pinagdaraanan. Listening is the key.
True.
Yeah,
Very true.
it's more empathic listening or empathic na positive words na lang ngayon.
Right. Well, sana lang it resonates with a lot more people para mas ma-cultivate natin yung culture na non-toxic positivity.
Oo, para maiwasan na yung mga hula-balus and all that stuff.
Non-toxic.
Non-toxic. Crayola, ganun.
Ay, iba naman yun eh. Yung halo-balo, toxic negativity naman.
Ay, toxic talaga yun.
Grabe.
Toxic negativity.
Char lang. Eme. Uy, gusto ko
Romeo
sila.
says, ay, sorry ko.
Go. Sino yan? Romeo. Char lang. Go.
Positivity is not positive when it denies, invalidates, or minimizes authentic human emotions. Yes, very true.
Yes. So true.
Wala po kaming premyo sa mga pagandahan ng sagot. Iniulit po na.
So, ang dami palang kontisera dito, no? Grabe.
Correct. Paketin yan. Charot.
Kita na yan. Answer tayo. Uy, meron ako
Correct, no?
papasok talaga saglit in line with this. Parang ano mo yung tipong sinabi ni Maki to na parang pag hindi ko kailangan ng tulong, sasabihin ko naman, dapat at pakiramdaman mo hindi ko kailangan ng tulong, di ba? Parang gusto ko lang maglabas ng sama ng loob. Okay na ako, makinig ka lang. Sabihin mo lang na andiyan ka, naintindihan mo ako, okay na, ganyan. May iba kasi tipo na nag-advise eh. Nag-advise ako sa ganun. Hindi
Oo.
ha? Sure.
Or, di ka worse. Alam mo, pinagdaanan ko rin yan eh.
Oh my God, I really hate that.
Excuse me, this is my time, spotlight.
Tsaka yung buti nga ikaw ganyan lang, ako ganito.
Exactly.
Diyos ko.
Iba ka, girl. Iba ka. Iba yung pinagdaanan mo.
Ikaw na lang kayo mamuhay ng buhay ko.
Correct.
Oo.
Chill na lang ako.
Diyos ko. Or, toxic positivity ay parang hotdog. Ayun lang.
True naman.
Anong ibig sabihin? Dapat nilolunok?
Yung
Baka
tungkol nilunok, sinusunog, niluluto, ano pa ba?
dapat
Hinihiwaan.
hinigilitan muna. Tapos
Oo.
pinukuluan.
Tapos tinutubigan, correct.
Oo.
Better,
Para di masyado
Sabi ni-
maalat. De joke.
True.
oo, di ba? Sabi ni Ma'am Yao, better ask for a person if they want a listener or an advisor. Kasi sometimes they just want someone to listen. Sometimes they want advice.
Here.
Yeah.
Right.
So make it clear din, di ba? Kung ano yung gusto natin.
Yes.
Pero when we
Yes.
give advice naman, don't be like shove it down someone else's throat na parang ano ba, okay na ako. Tapos advice pa din siya ng advice. Parang 15 minutes ago, I've been happy already.
Yes.
Now you're still advising 15 minutes later. Malungkot na ulit ako.
Oo, totoo.
Oo.
Parang nangyari talaga, Maki, ano?
Oo.
Bata pa ako.
Sabi ni Alan, oh my God, parang graded recitation. O in fairness, ang gusto ko, ang daming entries tonight. Charot.
Oo nga.
In fairness, bongga ang sagot ng mga tao. Binibini Pilipinas, films na ba to? Nice to hear the thoughts. True! Ang ganda ng mga sagot ng mga tao. So may question siya. Ask ko lang what happened to the bacon egg at hotcakes sa labas ng bahay. Part pa rin ba yun ng toxic positivity chart? Actually,
Actually, di kaya nilabas.
iniwan niya lang sa labas eh. Tapos pumasok siya.
Oo.
Mm.
Yeah. Nagsasayang siya ng pagkain. Pero baka may
Ma'am,
aso.
yung bagong lutong breakfast, iniwan niya. Pero ang kinain niya yung night-old na sandwich.
Exactly. It doesn't make
Na
sense.
malambot pa din, mama. Ano yung
Kasi
bakery na yan?
Humid kasi, humid. Oy, pero totoo, that's one of the continuity things na
Diba?
may
Sana
tatanong.
i-pick up sa next episode.
Oh,
Kung ano nangyari.
speaking of continuity, di ba parang, I think it was the second episode, ginising si JM ni Red kasi aalis na raw siya. Tapos, nung paalis na siya, iba na yung damit ni JM? Wala? Anyway, parang,
Yeah.
Right.
anyways, it's just a continuity thing. No biggie. Si
It
Ma'am
happened
Yon
also
naman.
to this episode, Mikey. Yung maliligo si Reb. Tapos pagbaba niya, iba na yung color ng jersey ni JF. So,
Mali-
sumunod
Ay,
ba siya
oh
sa
my
taas,
God, oo.
nagpalit siya, tapos pagbaba niya, naglilibot.
Oh my God. Oo nga.
Yeah.
So yun, those types of things. Ma'am Yang, ang toxically positive people minsan diretso sa advice patay change pag nakipag-usap sa'yo.
True.
nga, girl, time ko to. Ano? Airtime? Airtime mo? Nagbayad ka? Nakakatuwa.
And on the flip side naman, sabi niya, on the other hand, wag natin masyadong masamain siguro yung mga nagbibigay ng unsolicited advice. Baka it comes from a good heart naman and they want to help lang.
On.
Yes. Siguro yun nga eh. Be clear lang tayo na, hindi, okay na ako. Okay na ako.
So it all depends on the level of comfort with each other and how you are, how you are in a relationship and how close you are as a friend.
Very true. Very true.
Very true.
Adjust lang tayo both, no?
Right.
Ayan. Okay. Okay, bye guys. Biglang ganon.
In fair. Ang bilis.
Biglang tinapos. Hindi kasi yung other, the other thing that I was thinking about is na-mention ng paid troll accounts. But I guess this is gonna be more political than anything. Pero I guess what I liked is na parang in the episode as well as in the series, parang they really mention like real world issues and concerns. So yun, kaya naisip ko rin lang na paid troll accounts, he did actually say that. Pero I think the context was parang yung mga paid troll accounts, parang ihaharas yung isang alter account. So parang medyo I don't know if that happens. But ang naisip ko lang talaga political. Mas
Yes.
Pinasok lang, no? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Ayun.
Hindi ba sila bibigyan ng ayuda ng barangay? Kasi, joke lang, yun talaga naisip ko. 2 weeks yun, mamang. Kung nakita ko yung ref nila, Red Horse 2 weeks, gano'n. Cuervo for 2 weeks, gano'n.
Yung Red Horse, lagi na re-replenish The next day, puno ulit.
Puno
Yeah.
ulit. Baka may baka may kahon sa gilid. Tapos kapag
Pwede,
na-consume na yung iba, maglalagay ulit para malamig.
Oo,
Parang
baka may
replace
pantry,
what you take.
may pantry pa naman siya doon. At alam ko na naman ng pantry nila yung mga cabinets nakalagay doon.
Nakapapel kasi nakatago.
Oo.
Yung binuksan ni ni Reb na cabinet, yun nandun yung mga noodles. Kakasya ba ng 2 weeks yun, mama?
Di talaga.
Sana mag-grocery sila. Pwede naman, di ba?
Oo. Or pa-deliver sila. Di ba? Pwede naman. It would be nice. By the way, there's still another character that we haven't been seeing. Yung isang lalaki sa credits. No? I wonder kung anong episode siya lalabas.
May talent yung
Ooh.
Shall see.
Yes. Yeah. So, I guess yun lang naman yung naisip ko, guys. Was anything else that you wanna point out, talk about, or share?
Wala lang. Ang unhygienic lang na hindi nagpapalit ng mask yan. Joke lang.
Hindi marami na siyang stop, sabi ni na Jude.
May nagtanong kanina, is it washable ba? I don't think it's washable. I think it's the surgical mask with just a different color. It looks like that
Sabi
Ano,
niya,
kung nagkasya nga si Kiko doon sa bag niya, balay mo may isang box yung surgical mask.
wala niya, mas wala siyang damit.
True.
Uy, pero kasi, one night lang naman dapat nandun si di ba? Si Red. So, I'm sure isang mask lang yun. Baka si JM maraming supply kasi bahay niya. At saka kada interaction niya, may iba siyang mask.
Who knows this? Inalam talaga. Imbestigahan natin yan. Sure lang.
Ayan, nag-react sila. Hindi yun washable. Unhygienic. It's disposable. Yes, I'm sure. Kaya nga, di ba, he begged JM na, can we just remove our mask? Kasi ang init-init, pinapawisan na tayo, di ba? Ang weird pa naman pag naamoy mo yung
mask na gamit. True. Pero in fairness, nag-brown out na lahat. Wala silang pawis, mamang.
Oo, totoo eh.
Sana ganun lang.
Wala silang pores siguro.
Hindi maganda yung klima doon sa brownout nila, yung area nila. Kasi walang internet so most likely na. Parang sa amin lang. Sa bundok.
Baka upper antipolo, mga gano'n. Sure lang.
Oo.
Tagaytay talaga yung location nila. Dapat malamig doon pag gabi.
Very true.
Pero, I guess, summer. Ayan. Ano nga yung title ng next episode? Yes.
Toxic positive. Joke lang. Hindi ko talaga alam.
Paid troll accounts?
Hindi yata.
Sinabi
Pero
ko yung
yeah.
director, pero hindi ko maalala. Sorry.
Oo, he gave a list of all of the episode names. Pero, yun. I'm good, guys. Kayo?
Me too, I'm good.
That was nice. Ilang episodes na lang?
5 episodes.
5 more to go.
Okay.
What na lang? Okay. Hindi daw believable ang pamaypay nila. Ang liit. Kung brownout, palakihan ng pamaypay yun.
Correct.
True.
Hindi kasi,
At hindi,
kasi
it's not hard enough.
Which one?
Which one?
Yung papel. Dapat kartolina o kaya Manila folder.
Manila folder.
I was still up to Lance.
Lance.
About pamaypay. Pamaypay ba yung sinasabi mo, Lance? And Char?
Wala. Si Mike yun. Hindi ako yun.
Char lang.
That you were gonna say something.
Oo.
Wala, I forgot. Yeah. I think, kaya maliit kasi nasa Tagaytay nga sila, diba? Ganun kalamig na kita.
Siguro nga.
Okay.
Uy, Naked Truth daw ang... Oh my God, may hubaran to.
Ay.
Hindi ba may
Kasi
sinabi
nga
si...
hubad na katotohanan.
Totoo. At di ba may sinabi si Iyo sa isang interview nila na parang may naked scene yata or something. Okay, yun.
Remember Iyo said na, Reb said in the series na Naked Truth, hubad na katotohanan, so di ba kaya siya kumakanta. So baka next episode, since Naked Truth, if ever Naked Truth, kakanta siya.
Right.
Ano yung mic na gagamitin?
At may mask pa ba?
Nung sinabi mong nung sinabi mong kaka. Okay, sige. Char. Ito talaga
May
naisip
bahay,
ko.
char. Pero, well, kung eto na naman si Pietro. It can be anything. Kakandila. Charot.
Makandila. Ooh. Pwede naman din kung may kandila, Mikey. Kung yun yung, it floats their boat.
Oh my
Pwede
God.
naman.
Yes.
Para mas,
Oh my God.
you trick
As long
your
as it
brain
fits.
on what you feel. Diba?
Yes.
You feel the
Yes.
drips and not the in and outs.
True, true, true.
Oh
Wait.
my God.
Diyos ko.
Wait, sabi ni
Dami kong
Jericho,
alam.
representasyon ng social na Wi-Fi. Char. At kulay dilaw.
Kulay
Saan
dilaw.
kaya yun galing? Iniisip ko sa... Oo, di ba? Parang suddenly there were 2 pieces of paper on the
Dalawa.
Baka ano yun? Yung folder, ay yung cover ng notebook. Sa kabila dilaw, sa kabila picture ni Jolina, ni Marvin.
Oh my God.
Inabangan ko nga baka parang yung bag ni Dora tong pan eh. Yung kay Iyo, yung kay Reb. Baka ang dami niya yung mahuhugot na gamit dun from that bag. Hugot na tayo, may lalabas na mikropono, may gitara,
Ganun.
camera.
Pwede.
Sure.
Pero yun, so far I'm liking it and I love the conversations. It's just a mouthful, pero it makes sense. So that's what I like about it. Kasi minsan may mga dialogue sa ibang BL, parang, ha? Parang, huh? Ano yun? Diba? Pero this one,
Yeah.
it's actually very intellectual conversation.
Yeah. Although it's unconventional on what the dialogue is, it ano naman, it serves a purpose and how they want the flow of the story to be told. Yun lang. Siguro ano lang siya, mas mukha siyang spoken poetry. Mas favored sa spoken poetry yung choice of words na ginamit rather than a script. Pero yeah, the point came across, so
Yeah. Anything else? Lance?
Yeah, I have no point to come across anymore.
I rest my case.
Yes. Ikaw next.
Wala na, ma'am. Okay na yun. Sure.
Oo.
Okay, sige. So thank you very much, guys. Happy Friday ulit. And enjoy your
Yes.
weekend. Enjoy
Happy
the rest of
Pride.
your night. Happy Pride. And
Yes.
don't be a toxic positivity kind of person.
True.
Don't be a paid troll account.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very much.
And don't be a love and heartbreak. Ano?
Ano daw?
Don't be a parachute that turns into a virus. There comes radiation, there comes into a bacteria and into a virus.
Which is what? Love na yun. Magpabakuna tayo lahat. Yun na yun.
Yes,
Yeah.
guys, get vaccinated. Get
Nice.
vaccinated so that we can all be safer. Our loved ones are safer, and we can all go back to more of a normalcy. More normalcy. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That's it. Bye, guys.
Ciao. Bye. See you Tuesday on the other channel.
Bye.
See you
Oh,
on Monday.
yeah. Hey, you wanna
Oo
plug
nga.
that? You wanna
Sige,
plug
go.
that?
Sino ba yun?
Go, Lance.
Lance.
Yeah, see you guys on Tuesday at 9 p.m. 9:30 yata, tama ba? 9:30 p.m. on the Besh Reactors channel. So we'll be there. We'll cross over and support our fellow Beshies on the other side. 9:30 Tuesday, June 29th.
And
29th.
before Tuesday, see you all on Monday. We also have
And see you on
Wednesday.
Monday. We're gonna have History 101 on media representation on the LGBT culture.
Ang daming ganap! Diyos ko
I
dahil.
know. I'm excited.
Ooh, weekday pa, mamang, ang tapang.
Yeah. So that is it from us, guys. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Ayaw mag-